Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today is January 4th, 2023. Welcome to the new year. We just completed another year around the sun. Now there's going to be another year around the moon when we approach this Chinese New Year here on the 24th of January. So we're in this middle of this transitioning period. You may have felt it energetically as well. Since the winter solstice on December 21st, there's been this wave of death energy rolling through. So the energy is really, really intense. It may show up as illnesses, whether it be you, your children, your pets. But energy is trying to process. If it's not through you, then it's going to be extended through your pets or your children because they are extension of us. They're a much clearer vessel to transmit the energy. If we're not able to handle it here, it may show up through our children and our pets. Okay, so wherever your pets or kids are sick, notice where in the body is connected to which chakra. Okay, because that will give you an idea of which area of life that is affecting your kids, and it may be connected to you. Same thing with the pets. Okay, so I want to share a little about what happened here. I went through this really almost had to go to the ER during Christmas. And, on the outside, on the physical level, so I'll share what happened. It was pretty intense. After the Reiki sessions on the winter solstice, something was extracted that actually came through here on this reality, and it latched onto one of my black cats. I have a few cats here, but typically the black cats are the one that comes through whenever I need to do soul retrievals and healing really dark stuff in the shadows. Okay, hidden energies within the shadows. Colors have energy, so the different colors of the cat resonates with different energy. And cats are guardians of the spiritual realm. I'll do another episode just about cats. They're very fascinating. This is my first year of really working energetically with cats, and they are actually my third year, but they are super powerful, and they'll come into your life when you start tapping into spirituality work. But long story short, I extracted something that entered through this reality over here from a session, and it latched onto one of my black cats. The next day, I noticed my cat threw up in the backyard, and he pooped on himself. And I noticed the spot that he threw up in the backyard was like this dark mass. So already I had a hunch, okay, maybe something came through during that session, right? But I thought maybe he ate something bad. Okay, that could be a possibility too. So I waited a few days. 3 days in, he stopped eating. He was hiding the whole time. And already I knew, okay. The next day was Christmas, so all the vets were closed. And if we were to take him to the doctor, it won't be until after Christmas, which is at that point, he'll be 5 days in of not eating. So that was a little scary at one point. Well, when I tuned in and meditated, it says, do the Reiki on the cat. He'll be okay. Okay. So thank God, Christmas Eve, he started eating again. 3 full days in, he started eating again. And now he's like back to normal. But what's interesting is when I did the Reiki on him, whatever latched onto him, latched onto me. But it's very fascinating, as I progress in this Reiki, Moldavite Reiki work, we're tapping into some deep, deep layers and extracting some dark masses, okay? Some dark energies. So whatever it was, it latched onto me. And how it manifests in the physical form is the night that he got better, I noticed one of my nipples here See the little spot right there? It was a little bit swollen. So I thought maybe it was like an inflamed pimple. The next day, Christmas Day, it blew up. You're talking about like half of my face was swollen. And I went to the doctor and it says it was a staph infection. Okay. You're talking about this little hole right here got infected. This whole thing was like red. My whole cheek right here was swollen. That was only 2 days in. The first day was like tiny. Next day it blew up. And I was prescribed some antibiotics. And the next day, it blew up down into like my neck. Like right here. And in my mind, it's like, if this cuts off my airway, I may have to go to the ER. But typically the swelling grows overnight. I would wake up in the middle of the night. I remember like the second night I woke up like in pain because I could already see this infection growing like till right here. But the swelling got even more as it was looking for a way to rupture or if I were to go to the ER, they would have cut open and drain it. So they would slice probably a bigger spot and then drain the pus out. But that was like a last resort if I had to go to the ER because it's during Christmas time. So a lot of places were closed. I mean, so it happened Christmas night, then Christmas Day it was like swollen. And yeah, it was pretty bad. I took pictures, which I'm not going to share because it was like pretty swollen. It was pretty bad. I never had a staph infection. I don't know. It was, yeah. So whatever, physically, it showed up as a staph infection. Energetically, I tuned in, it was an attachment, an energy attachment, okay? And so it was 3 nights in, I drank, I was prescribed antibiotics. I was drinking the antibiotics, but the swelling would not go down. And the next day, all of a sudden, it ruptured, right? The swelling got so big that it ruptured. And I did some draining on myself because it was all pus, right? It was coming out, it was like all pus. So I drained it out and it was starting to swell up again. Just imagine like a pimple, you pop it, but then it's swelled again. And so I talked to my sister, she's a doctor, and she also mentioned like, try to keep the wound open so that it could keep draining out. But kid you not, the swelling keeps growing. And this time it hurts because it already drained and I was like, it's swelling even more. And so I meditated, right? Because at this point, I was already swelling to my neck and meditated and, something showed up. It's like, if it keeps swelling and gets to my airways, then probably have to go to the ER. Okay. Or they could cut off my airway and I not breathe. And, all these negative thoughts just come through, but the end point is like, death is a possibility. But it's interesting because, I faced this fear of death a while back. I had 2 near-death experience, and by this time around, the fear of death wasn't even there anymore because every time I tune in, I trust my intuition. It's just not to fear. It's not, it just mentioned, no, you'll be okay. Don't worry about it. But that fear of death was something that used to have a grip on me. I think a lot of us, when our final lesson is death itself, overcoming the fear of death. Okay. And so when I meditated that morning, I keep hearing, I'll be okay, and garlic. I keep hearing the word garlic. So I researched garlic on because I heard garlic before, like last year I ate it for raw garlic for inflammation. And so this time when I researched it, it says garlic kills staph infections. So garlic has some very powerful medicinal purposes. I forgot, it released some kind of, it starts with an A. It was a very powerful nutrients that kills bacteria and reduces inflammation. It has a lot of powerful health benefits. So kid you not, I ate a piece of raw garlic And garlic helps with inflammation and kills the bacteria. On the energy level, it kills energy vampires. Because I already knew the staph infection was from some kind of energy that was attached. The moment I ate the garlic, remember it has to be raw, it'll start burning. So if you're gonna eat raw garlic, just eat it really fast and then just drink water, okay? But I felt this burning. First, like sucking whatever it is on the staph infection here. But then as the garlic goes down into my stomach, yes, it burns. But two, I just felt all this energy from here get pulled down into where the garlic is. And kid you not, within an hour or two, that swelling was reduced, I would say, at least 60%. I was on antibiotics for 3 full days. It was still swelling. The garlic reduced it down within an hour and a half, 2 hours. But when garlic was paired with the antibiotics, whatever, like the wound keeps closing, the pus keeps building up. But when I ate the garlic, it was like drained through the body. It was the most magical thing I've ever seen, like firsthand, on what garlic does to the body, especially draining that such huge infection. So long story short, I just came off of my antibiotics yesterday after 10 days of being under the medication. And I've also been eating a raw piece of garlic every single morning, paired up with the medicine, okay? So now it's all gone. Thank God I didn't have to do surgery or have to drain it, because if that was the case, I would have a huge scar right here. But that is my little story, my share on what happened in the last 2 weeks. So I just came out of it, like even being under the antibiotics, it was messing with my energy field. None of the Moldavites wanted to be out. It wasn't resonating anymore. And it was interesting because when I ate the piece of garlic, I felt my energy come back. So yeah, that was very interesting. So that's what happened the last 2 weeks. I've been kind of quiet. I thought about going on and recording some videos, but I was looking pretty bad. I was in pretty bad shape on my face right here, okay? So, can you see this? My cat is fully recovered. I've fully recovered. And I'm here. So, with that, the last 2 weeks, Spirit has really asked me to hone down on Moldavite Reiki. This was a learning lesson for me, how to, whenever these dark masses are extracted, how to kill these energy vampires. Okay, so it was a learning lesson. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And but yeah, like with Moldavite Reiki, it's something really, really powerful that I'm tapping into, especially after activating all these different Moldavite sets at different sacred sites. Each set resonates with a different chakra. And so when working with the sacral, because that's what's opened up during the winter solstice, is whenever we work on the sacral, the womb is where spirit enters the physical, right? When we give birth, it's the spirit world coming into the physical world through birth. So when we open up the sacral, all this energy, we're healing not only this lifetime, but it's going back to past life. These are where all the trauma, darkness, mass, energy that needs healing, cords, a lot of it is lodged within our sacral chakra. So that was a very interesting experience, opening the sacral, cord cutting, releasing the energy through this Moldavite Reiki. And but yeah, I want to share that intense 2 weeks that just rolled through. So just think of it, this huge, whenever you're working Moldavite plus all this mass energy coming through, your body is going to feel uncomfortable, like this swelling. Okay, just think of it as this huge pimple mass, the infection, and it needs an outlet. It needs an exit point. Okay, so when the pus ruptured, The exit point was here. So think of it this way. All this energy is pounding in. When you work Moldavite, it's going to push up all these energies from your chakras. And you're going to feel like you need to explode. You're having a breakdown, right? What Reiki does, it opens up the wound for the energy to be released. So, yeah, that's the best way I can explain Reiki. But now with Moldavite, you repair it up. And we're extracting some deep, dark stuff. Not only this lifetime, but past lifetime as well. Okay, so I want to share that. If you're watching this message, you feel like you have energy vampires, maybe check out a piece of garlic. Go eat a piece of raw garlic and see how you feel. And if you need extra assistance opening up chakras or Moldavite Reiki, then my information in the description below. Other than that, I am recharging for a little bit, and then I'll get back on more videos during this week. Other than that, I am sending one here lots of love, and I'll see you for the next episode. Tembi Do, signing off.